Open Society is his organisation. It is the biggest political campaigning group in financial terms the world has ever seen. It's already raised $15 billion. Another $18 billion had been pledged. So whether George Soros managed to get other donors to support him on that night, frankly, is irrelevant.
Well, it's quite relevant when it comes to this anti-Brexit campaign.
It's completely irrelevant because he can sign as big a cheque as he wants. This man interferes in elections and referendums all over the Western world.
OK, but he has a right to campaign on what he wants to, and there's no rules been broken here.
No, I think, we talk about Russian collusion. Did the Russians interfere in the American election? Did they interfere in Brexit?
This is not anything on that scale.
This is the biggest political campaigner in the history of the world. And what's happened today is a few people have started to wake up to it. Now, it's not against the rules.
Part of the reason, apparently, for this is to secure a second referendum on whether we leave or whether we stay in. Now, we have an argument, don't we, when you come in, about whether there should be a second referendum. And the point is that we don't yet know the deal that Theresa May is going to secure with Brussels. And what happens, even you're so critical of the Prime Minister. What happens if she comes up with a deal that you, as someone who is such a vocal and successful campaigner in the Brexit referendum, thinks that's a rubbish deal? And we're going to end up worse.
The referendum.
Wouldn't you like to have a chance to vote on it?
The referendum wasn't about an economic deal. It wasn't about projecting whether in 15 years' time we'll be richer or poorer, because frankly, no one knows. The referendum was about leaving political union and being an independent, self-governing nation.
So you don't care if the deal is a really bad deal?
I'm very pessimistic about the deal she's going to get, because it's pretty clear
the
EU won't give us one.
You would rather have a bad deal than consider staying in.
I want to be an independent country. And once you are an independent country, you can change anything you want in the future. That is what the referendum was about. I don't want a second referendum, but I sat here with you just a month ago, warning that I thought there would be a second referendum. And this kind of fits into that, this Soros story.
Let's speak to Philippe Lambert about that in Strasbourg. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Just on that subject, is a second referendum, the idea of the UK having another vote on this, is that something that you would welcome?
Well, frankly speaking, if you want to keep the United Kingdom as close as possible to the European Union, I'm not sure that pushing for a second referendum is the best strategy, because the question is, of course, when would you hold it? And, well, we are going to have a withdrawal deal by the date of Brexit, that is next March. But you won't have a clear idea as to the future relationship for many years to come, because you need to negotiate it. So in other terms, people won't be able to know exactly what they will be voting on. My preferred strategy would be to say, let's negotiate in good faith. Let's have a transition period that is long enough to allow us to negotiate the future relationship. And then maybe at that time we can decide how to approve the deal that will have been negotiated at that time.
Philippe Lambert, is it possible?
I believe that doing a second referendum before the date. Say again.
No, I'm sorry, there's a slight delay on the line. Is there a possibility, do you think, because you're on one of the key Brexit committees, the EU Brexit Steering Committee, is it possible to have a good deal, do you think, for both the EU and the UK? Because there is a suspicion, and there was a leak yesterday of a document which suggests that the EU is going to punish the UK during the transition deal. There is this suspicion amongst some people that the EU wants the UK to do badly, perhaps to stop other people doing the same as the UK has done and voting to leave the EU, that we can't be seen to benefit from Brexit because it would lead to the breakup of the EU.
So first, are there politicians on this side of the channel wanting to punish the United Kingdom? Yes, I think that such people exist. Are they the majority? By far not. I think that what people realize is that the best deal for the UK and the European Union is to stay together. So anything beneath that, well, lower than that, is a lose-lose game. So the EU27 are losing by the departure of the UK, and the UK will be losing by quitting the European Union in terms of influence and in terms of wealth. So that's a fact. So anything lesser than membership is a lose-lose game. So that's a fact. So how do you limit damage? That is the question. That is the question. And my plea is for the closest possible association between the UK and the European Union, and that means membership of the single market and membership of the customs union. That's the best we can get.
And from your perspective, Nigel, I'd imagine you disagree. Interesting that you were saying there are MEPs that would like to punish
plenty of them.
the UK,
yeah,
but in the minority.
My worry is Monsieur Barnier, their chief negotiator, wants to punish the UK. You know, I met him a few weeks ago. I sat with him in his office.
Oh, no.
They are not going to give us a rounded trade deal on goods and services. He's made that perfectly clear. So it seems to me we're beginning to get to the point we're wasting our time. Why spend years in transition if actually they don't want to come to a sensible arrangement? Maybe better to have a quick, clean break and get on with our destiny with the rest of the world.
Because if you're a business leader, that might strike fear into your heart.
85% of the global economy is outside the Eurozone. There are some big, exciting places out there.